What's good, y'all? It's your boy Spider 3.0, keeping the action going with another Toybiz unboxing and figure review. Yes, we are back reviewing some more Toybiz. Y'all know how I feel about Toybiz, man. I'm just gonna keep paying them respects by reviewing some of their older figures that, I have a feeling that I will love once I unbox and do my full review on. Obviously, these are figures that I've seen, I'm aware of. I've seen other reviews of them. But yeah, now it's time for your boy to review them himself. So we got another nice big box here, another big package that came probably like over a month ago at this point. I've just really had like a lot of these figures just kind of in my room on hold for reviews because I've been so busy, but we are finally getting to it. So yeah, I'm not going to talk too much because inside this box, we have the figure in the original packaging. So, once I open this up, then we've got to open the actual packaging. But, obviously I wanted you guys to get a look at some of that original Toybiz packaging that this, amazing figure was packed in. So, yeah. And then, we have a plethora of figures and characters to put this, new figure next to so we can see for size comparison. So, we got a lot to look at. So without further ado, I'm gonna get straight to it. I'm gonna unbox this nicely sized box, get it open, see what we got inside, and take a closer look at some of that play and display action and all that good stuff. Some of those immaculate details that Toybiz always gifted us with. So let's get straight to it. Hope you guys are doing well, man. I appreciate all the engagement on the channel. I just want to put that out there right now. I noticed we've gone up in subscribers over like the last week or so, so I just want to say thank you so much to everybody that's been hitting that subscribe button lately. And all of you that have been subscribed for a while, I appreciate you just as much. Thank you so much for rocking with your boy, checking out what we got going on the channel. Really does mean a lot to me. I really do enjoy doing this thing, and yeah, I just hope to keep growing the channel and just having fun with you guys, bringing a lot of different content outside of figure reviews. We're going to be looking at some films, some music, as I recently mentioned. And for anyone that checked out my music, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm always checking my insights on SoundCloud, so yeah, I know I was kind of late on dropping the links. That's my bad, but I just want to say thank you to you guys that watched that video and checked out myself and Brain, my boy Colin, Mr. Brain, a hip-hop legend in my eyes. And just be aware, guys, that a lot of Colin's more recent stuff hasn't been like uploaded to his page just yet. He just he's got it a little tougher than me when it comes to recording. He doesn't have as much equipment and things like that. So like a lot of his newer stuff with like some of his better songs, like he's got like a lot of his old songs on there, obviously, but his growth is just crazy. Like lyrically he's grown quite a bit over the years, like myself. And so like a lot of his newer stuff, where you can see like a lot of that lyrical growth, hasn't been uploaded yet. But he's got like tons of songs that he's written, and he sends them to me and I read them. But he just hasn't had the chance to actually get them uploaded to the site. So, but yeah, just make sure you guys check him out because he's working real hard. He's writing a lot right now, and the goal is obviously to get him in a position to where he can record as much as I can, because I've been blessed to have that kind of equipment and stuff. So he's working real hard, and I'm doing my best to help him out so that he can get more of his music out there as well. So I just want to say I really appreciate anybody that checks him out, and yeah, just like leaves any comments on his songs or gives feedback. Very, very much appreciated. I know he appreciates it as well. But yeah, here is our new Toybiz figure, which is the dual web swinging Spider-Man. That's right. So I wanted to pick up this Spider-Man in particular because, of course, as you might have guessed, you guys might have discovered by now that I fancy Toybiz because they they tend to make a lot of figures, especially like Spider-Man figures, that are based on a specific artist. And can you guys maybe guess what specific artist this figure might be based on? Yeah, any guesses? Any guesses? No? This is based on the great Alex Ross. That's right. We just reviewed the Alex Ross style Green Goblin that came in that Sinister Six, 7-pack, I guess technically, back in the day. So yeah, we reviewed that guy. Awesome figure. One of my favorite 1/12 scale Green Goblin figures ever. I mean, the details were immaculate, amazing. Articulation was absolutely fantastic. So now we're going to take a look at the Alex Ross style Spider-Man. All right, it's only right that we get both of those enemies together, right? So here is the original Toybiz packaging that this came in. Really awesome. And shout outs to Quicker Toys on eBay. I really appreciate him for hooking me up with this figure. Yeah, just really awesome. The fact that I could get it in the original packaging still is awesome. You see, we got this big clamshell, obviously, for the front. And it's starting to, like, you can kind of, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but like you can tell the plastic is kind of like yellowing because, it's definitely an older figure and it's been in its original packaging this whole time. So, that's something that tends to happen with like a lot of the older packaging, the older plastic that starts to yellow over time. But this guy looks really great inside of this package. All right, so that was a look at the front, and here's a quick look at the back as we turn it around here. And you can see, just look how awesome this old school packaging was, man. This is like, I remember seeing stuff like this at Toys R Us as a kid. Like, these are the type of figures you would see, the old Spider-Man figures, and I would like look at the back just to see like what other figures they had in the line. Look, you got the superposable Spider-Man. I think, is that the McFarlane one? Let's see. Is that the McFarlane one? I can't tell from this picture. It's a little tricky. The sculpt looks similar, so I want to say it is, but it's hard to tell. But because I know that the superposable Spider-Man did come with this kind of, it came with like a brick base that he was supposed to be able to climb. That's why they called him like the wall climbing Spider-Man or whatever. So I think that might be the McFarlane Spider-Man. It's kind of hard to tell from this shot right here, but that might be the one that we just looked at not too long ago, the batch 1 version at least. And then we have Sandman. I am kind of wanting to get this old school Sandman. I've been kind of holding off on getting a Sandman figure just because I'm trying to like decide whether I want like the Toybiz Sandman or those newer Marvel Legends Hasbro Sandmans, because they both have different strong points and then also weak points. So I'm trying to like kind of weigh my options and decide which one I think is better. But I do think that eventually I'm going to pick up this Toybiz Sandman because it does look pretty cool. And then we got this Hydro Blast Spider-Man, more gimmick stuff. Not really into that too much, but that's something that might be fun for a kid. Who knows, maybe one day I'll pick it up just for the collection, we'll see. But yeah, we got a little read up here on the back. It says dual web swinging Spider-Man with projectile launcher. So this figure does technically come with a gimmick as well, but I think it's not one of those gimmicks where it necessarily like limits the figure, too much at least. So that's why I still, decided to go for this one. And of course, I wanted a Alex Ross style Spider-Man. So, as far as I know, this is pretty much the only figure that they made specifically in that style. So, I had to go for it. But nevertheless, yeah, you can see the picture right here. It's got a this little thing that you hold, and then you can attach like 2 webs to it, and they attach to his hands, and then you can kind of like swing him across this little thing. So you can see they got a nice like in motion picture of him swinging, so that's really cool. But yeah, as far as the read up, it says a comic book icon worldwide. Spider-Man's message is clear: with great power comes great responsibility. For over 30 years, Peter Parker, an ordinary boy transformed into an extraordinary hero from the bite of a radioactive spider, has thrilled fans of all ages. Through all of Spider-Man's exciting adventures and sensational battles with sinister supervillains, young Peter Parker still relates to his many fans as he tries to maintain some semblance of a normal life. Hey, can't we all relate to that, right? That's just about all of us on a daily basis, right? And yeah, and then you've got your instructions, you know, for the gimmick, you know, how it works back here. I'm not gonna like really go through all that, but if you want to pause it and, you know, read this diagram, you can go ahead and do that. Right here, we've got Toybiz Worldwide. Toybiz Worldwide toll-free customer service number. Wow, look at that. Even at their customer service number. That's how you know this is an older figure, bro. Visit www.toybiz.com. We've got Marvel, marvel.com. 3 free comics. Wow. www.marvel.com/3free. So I guess that was a thing back in the day. You could win 3 free comics, and then you've got your proof of purchase barcode right here. I guess that you could scan. I guess maybe that plays into the whole 3 free comics things or something. Maybe you had to scan this code. But yeah, that's cool. And then we've got this little logo down here that says comic shop location or locator service. Yeah, and you've got like a number there that you can call to get it for your local comic book shop. But yeah, very, very cool. So yeah, really awesome retro style packaging. I love it, absolutely love it. I love the artwork that they used on the old packaging as well. Very Mark Bagley type of Spider-Man art, usually like kind of like Ultimate Spider-Man. I remember that being, you know, the artwork on a lot of these old school packages. So that's really, really dope to see. But without further ado, man, let's bust this thing open and get to the actual figure. All right, got a lot to talk about with this guy, so we've got to get straight to it. So I'm gonna do my best again to kind of preserve at least the clamshell. I want to rip, you know, just straight up massacre this packaging. I want to keep it somewhat preserved in case I ever decide to pack this guy back up. But oh, look at that, beautiful. So we've got the inner layer of clamshell with the holding the gimmick, and that slid out, you know, nice and easy. So very, very nice. I'm gonna put that to the side for right now. And next we've got the internal clamshell that holds Spidey himself. I'm pulling out right now. All right, so here is Spidey in his clamshell. All right, and you can see he's tied up. This is how you also, another way that you know this is an older figure. We've got these old kind of silver or like, you know, translucent twisty ties. You don't really see that today on modern figures, but I remember back in the day as a kid getting figures, this would always be like inside of the packaging, you know, holding the figures limbs and things in place. They always had these twisty ties that you had to like unravel or cut with scissors. So yeah, man, such nostalgia seeing these this old Toybiz style packaging. I love it though. It really takes me back to just being a kid and getting some dope Spidey figures. So this is awesome, man. I love it. Really, really love it. But yeah, again, I hope all you guys are doing well, man. I know you've all got lives, got busy lives, a lot of things going on. So again, I just want to let you guys know I appreciate you taking time out of your days to watch these reviews. Hopefully, you know, they can, you know, bring a little light to your days. You know, hopefully if you're having a bad day, hopefully maybe these reviews will cheer you up a little bit. At least, you know, that would be a, you know, a goal of mine. That'd be something, you know, nice to find out or hear. So, but yeah, man, I just want to encourage all you guys to keep your head up, man. I know life gets hard, man. Trust me. I know, your boy knows, all right? So I just want to encourage you guys to keep your heads up and to never give up, man. Do not quit. Whatever it is you're pursuing, whatever aspirations and dreams that you have, you keep pushing, man, every day. Just take it day by day, you know. Sometimes we get overwhelmed because we're trying to accomplish so much all at once. And I just want to remind you guys to take it day by day, you know. I'm a big Nipsey Hussle fan. I don't know if you guys are aware of the rapper Nipsey Hussle, but he is one of my favorite MCs, you know, of all time. And he became like one of my favorite, you know, relatively quickly. I wasn't too familiar with his catalog. So I would say like maybe only over like the past 4 or 5 years has he like really earned that spot. and he definitely earned it, man. I've heard like quite a bit of his music now, and the reason I bring him up is because, you know, he's a really I won't say philosophical, but he was a very like wise guy, you know, and I think he understood the principles of life and you know, and success. Like a lot of the success that happened in his life, I think, is a direct result of, you know, his way of thinking. And I always admired that. And he was just different, you know. And one of the things that he said that stuck with me is, you know, there's a quote where he said, you know, I might not be quoting this exactly right, so, you know, don't kill me. But he said something along the lines, basically like, just lay a brick a day, you know, and pretty soon you'll look up and you'll have a brick wall. And that's just basically going back to that point I was saying about, like, you know, sometimes we want to accomplish everything at once, and sometimes you can't do it all at once because you got so much other stuff going on and you feel overwhelmed and your mind is just cluttered with stuff and you're overthinking. But just lay a brick a day, man, for whatever it is you're trying to accomplish. You know, make a plan and just stick to that plan and just keep working it day by day, and before you know it, man, you'll look up and you'll have your brick wall. And you will have achieved those things that you are reaching for. So just want to remind you all of that, all right? But enough of that sentimental, philosophical stuff. Let's get straight to Spidey. So sorry, it's taking me a little minute. I've got to unravel all of these twisty ties. I'm almost done. We've got about 2 more holding his legs here. We are almost there. Bear with me. I guess while you guys wait, well, I'm almost done now, but just really quick so you're not staring at a blank background, I will show you guys the artwork that this guy is based on, the Alex Ross artwork real quick. So check out my computer here, just so you guys have something to look at and not stare at a blank wall for a few minutes. Here is the Alex Ross Spider-Man art. This is like one of the best you know, front full body shots that I could find of him. But yeah, this is like a really awesome shot of him swinging. You can see some artwork of, you know, some very well-known Spidey characters on the side there. You got Mr. Robertson. That guy with the glasses, I'm not really sure, to be honest, who that is. That might be Dr. Connors, I don't know. Pretty sure Mary Jane is right below Robbie there. And then Peter, I'm pretty sure. I think that's Peter, you know, at the very bottom next to the guy with the glasses, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that is the Alex Ross style Spider-Man. So in case you want to see what he looks like. And so when we get this figure out, which he's just about out, we'll have something to directly compare him to. All right, so just so you guys have a sense of that. All right, here we go. Last twisty tie comes out, and booyah, he is out of the packaging. All right, so let me straighten him out real quick. Yes, clamshell. Adjust yourself. Let's see. I'm just trying to adjust his legs here. Get him in a position where they can be straight. It seems like his legs are on a ball joint, but it's not quite the same as like the T-joint or whatever you want to call it that was on the McFarlane. This one seems like the kind where you have to actually like manipulate the hinge in the direction that you want to move his leg. I could be wrong about that though. Okay, let's see. I just loosened up actually his thigh joint, so maybe not. Maybe you don't have to have the hinge facing the way that you want to go. But anyways, I'm just trying to loosen up his joints, get him in a good position here. Okay, there we go. Put his arms down to the side so he doesn't look too awkward from the pose that they already had him in. Let's see here. Push that down. Come on, Spidey. There you go. There you go. All right. All right, so here is our dual web swinging Spider-Man aka the Alex Ross Spider-Man. Let me zoom out a bit. Okay, there we go. Get some light on him, a little bit better light. I think, wow, it's like, I feel like my computer is stealing all the light from him, but yeah, you guys already saw pretty much, you know, this is the artwork obviously that he's based on. So now that you've seen that, here's a quick shot of how he looks in the back. Just this, I wanted a shot where you guys could see like his spider symbol on his back. So this is like probably one of the best ones I could find, even though, you know, he's kind of like crouched, so the spider's kind of, you know, facing at a weird angle, but just so you can get a sense of how it's supposed to look, right? And that is indeed the spider that is on this figure's back. Look at that, that big fat red spider, man, crazy. But I really like it because, you know, Alex Ross is the only person I know that has designed that back spider logo that way, as well as this front one. Even this front one is pretty unique to Alex Ross. It's got a very specific shape to it. If I can get some focus on here. No? Okay, hold on. Let me move my computer out the way. So you guys have seen the images now, so you guys know what we're looking at. But just so I can get a little bit better focus on the figure, move my computer real quick. All right, so here we go. Figure back in the shot. Make sure we got enough light in here. I think we do. But yeah, let's get some good focus on that. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is the Alex Ross style for Spider-Man. There we go. Now we got some better light on him. And man, this figure, man, I gotta say is really, really nicely painted. It's just, yeah, something about the blue on this figure always stood out to me. And there aren't very many. I think I've only seen like maybe 1 or 2 reviews of this guy on YouTube. So like not a lot of people have reviewed this guy, at least from what I've seen. So I'm really glad that I'm able to finally, you know, drop a review on him. But yeah, the blue on this figure is amazing. I don't know if you guys noticed in those shots I just showed you, but you know, Alex Ross always, you know, he does like a painting style for his, you know, his comics or whatever, like, you know, for Spider-Man. So it's like very hyper realistic, right? And he always drew it or like painted it in a way that he made it clear that Spidey's suit was like a cloth suit. Like it wasn't like the live actions, how it's like spandex and stuff. It was kind of like more of a cloth type of suit. So, you know, it could tear and rip, you know, easier. And you can see, I like that Toybiz again sculpted like wrinkles into his legs here to kind of show off some of that detail, to show that this is like a cloth suit and it's, you know, it stretches and has like its wrinkles and things. That is really, really dope. Those subtle details, man, to really make it look like an actual suit. So again, that was also present in the McFarlane figure, which is really dope. But yeah, we've got like some wrinkles in the thighs and stuff. So you can see like the material, the fabric is kind of stretching like around his muscles, and you know, maybe has a little bit more stretch room in certain places. But yeah, it's really, really cool. It's a very nice touch, and I like that Toybiz, you know, added that onto these figures. You know, this one and the McFarlane one. But yeah, this is a really, really nice figure. And I think the blue, I just love how they did the blue. I don't know, like, I feel like the paint that they use for the blue is perfect. Let me just say that, first of all. I feel like the blue on this figure perfectly matches what we see in those Alex Ross, you know, artwork and, you know, pictures and photos of, like, from the comics. It's got, like, a really, it's low-key reminiscent, at least to me, of the, that final swing suit at the end of No Way Home, just because, like, even though it's not technically shiny or shimmery, it's got enough contrast with all like the darker spots. Like you can see they did a black wash obviously in certain parts, so you get like a lot of like heavy shading in certain areas, and then you get like, you know, the lighter actual color of blue there, and it's really, really nice. You know, I don't know exactly what shade of blue you would call this, but whatever it is, I like it a lot. For some reason I always want to call it like a cobalt blue or something. I don't know, maybe it's, and I'm sure Anthony's Customs would know like the, you know, the good, the actual term for this blue, like the shade or hue of it. But yeah, like it just, I feel like maybe there's like a lot of like gray or something mixed into this blue. You know, he would know better than me for sure, but yeah, whatever color, whatever shade of blue you want to call this, I really like it, and I like how Toybiz handled the painting for it, because it definitely looks different than any of the other blues that's like on their Spidey, you know, other Spider-Man figures. So very, very cool. So yeah, I just wanted to point that out. Real quick, let's put him on the rotating display base, just so we can get a full 360 sense of what he's looking like. So I'm gonna go ahead, try to get him in a little bit more of a natural position. Kind of get him standing here. So here we go. Let's see, can you stand? Let's see if he's got any balance control. Kind of interesting foot design here too. It's a little bit gappy towards the bottom, like just before the ankle meets the foot. Seems like there's a bit of a gap going on there, but not too bad. I mean, and especially if it allows, you know, him some good range, then, you know, I think that's an okay sacrifice. But let's see. Let's see, can you stand for me, homie? Okay, there we go. All right, so we got him standing straight up there. All right, so let's get him rotating on the display base now. I really hope he doesn't fall. But yeah, so that is our 360 look at this dual web swinging Spider-Man, aka the Alex Ross style Spidey. And yeah, I gotta say, man, he's a really nice looking figure, man. It's just, it's a very specific look, and I like that about this figure, how it kind of stands out from the rest of the Spidey designs that we've seen. So yeah, very, very cool. But yeah, I'm liking this a whole lot. Really, really liking the look and the details of this guy. But yeah, so I think that's enough for our 360 look. All right, so we go ahead and stop it here. All right, taking him off the display base. Move this out the way. Let's bring him in for a closer look. All right, so getting a better look at some of those details. Look at the mask, first of all. Let's start with the mask. Look at that mask. So you can tell this one has silver lenses specifically, not white. And that is definitely true to Alex Ross's art style. So Alex Ross always drew Spidey's lenses with like a kind of silver, you know, look, like actual like lenses, like, you know, like something out of like sunglasses or something like that. Like they actually look reflective. And so I like that Toybiz definitely incorporated that into this figure. We've got these nice silver lenses, and you can see the shape, the overall shape of the eyes. Kind of smaller, definitely not as big as the McFarlane. Definitely not like Bagley style. Not quite Steve Ditko. Who else? Who's another big name for Spidey? Yeah, they're not like Eric Larson. They're not really any of those other artists. Like it's a specific eye shape, and then the fact that the lenses are silver definitely points to Alex Ross. And maybe even the shape of the head. He does kind of have a weird shaped head, at least for the figure. I feel like, especially from his profile, like his chin is very kind of like pointy, and then the rest of his head is like kind of round. So it looks a little bit weird from the side and at certain angles. But yeah, like the overall like head shape and style, definitely Alex Ross, without a doubt. And then we get to the actual suit itself, and you can see right here, this spider symbol right here, this kind of like pretty big spider. You can see how like the legs, these two bottom legs kind of come out and kind of curve in a little bit. And then you have like the two legs, you know, just above those that are like a little bit shorter. Definitely like not the same in length as like the, you know, these lower two. So you can see like the difference in kind of like size between those. And then you get up to like the top where, you know, where the head is at, and the top four set of legs, you know, you can see, these ones at the top are like more like around the same length. So, and they're kind of like closer to each other. They curve in, but like as far as length goes, they're like almost the same. Whereas like, you know, again, these bottom ones definitely not, you know, quite the same. But yeah, and just like that big kind of like fat, you know, spider bottom or whatever. This logo honestly really reminds me of the drawing that Tobey Maguire did in the first movie, because I remember, you know, when he was like doing that drawing, that full Spider-Man drawing of himself for the first time, where he's like, you know, in the full shooting the web. And I remember when he was filling in the logo, something that always stuck with me from that movie as a kid is like when he filled in the logo for it, the spider, like when they showed the final picture, the actual like bottom or whatever, like the abdomen section of the spider was always like so big. Like when he finished it, like I remember he had to like use a lot of black and actually like fill in that section of the spider. It's always a pretty big logo for that chest, you know, on that drawing that he did. But I always like loved that drawing, you know. And yeah, it was just really, really awesome. And I feel like, you know, Sam Raimi really paid homage, you know, in a lot of ways to Alex Ross's art, you know, his art style when, you know, doing that first movie. I feel like even the overall suit design, we'll talk about this more in a later video, but I feel like, you know, even that original suit from the first movie, I feel like it definitely, in a lot of ways, kind of paid homage to Alex Ross's design for Spider-Man. And yeah, I love it, man. That's one of my favorite live action suits. That one and the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit, I would say, are like my favorite as far as like live action suits go. But yeah, really, really cool look here for the figure. Again, in the red, I like that in the red we don't have too much of a wash going on, so that it kind of stands out. I like that. It's a nice contrast against the blue, because there's already a lot of like, again, heavy shading in the blue. So there's a lot of black wash and, you know, just kind of like paint application for like darker spots on him. Like I guess to like on the sides here to highlight things like the obliques. Move his arm out of the way so you can get a better look at that. Get some more light on him. But yeah, see, you can see like there's kind of like a darker, like a black or maybe like a very dark blue, but like there's definitely more paint here. So you can kind of see like a shadow effect on his sides right there, and even like down into the legs. You can see those darker spots that are highlighted on him, and they look really good. You know, they're placed in a way where it actually looks, you know, purposeful and effective. So I like that a whole bunch. But yeah, and you know, again, coming to the back of the figure, we've got some more of that darker type of shading at his lower back. We've got some really nice like wrinkles as the suit kind of creases into like his back muscles down there. Same thing kind of up here at the top by the top of the spider logo. You can see all that great sculpt, by the way, in his back that like shows off the muscles and everything. Really, really nice, man. God, I love this. Really, really nice sculpting and detail into this figure. But yeah, you know, and then coming back around, and here he is, you know, face front again. But again, I like that they didn't put too much of a wash in the red, so that the red at least kind of stands out against the blue. Because I feel like if they had done like, you know, a heavy wash in the red as well, then it would kind of like make his suit look a little too dark or maybe too grimy. So I like that the red has kind of like a light wash. Like there's definitely a little bit. You can see some in the lower section of his torso, like where the abs are at. You got these kind of like black, you know, spots and things going in, which I guess give it like a little bit of shading, a little bit of depth. You see some more of that going into his arms. His arms definitely kind of have like a darker look for the red, and that's because they definitely applied a little bit heavier of a wash, like at the top here, or like the side of his arm, and twist that a little bit better so you guys can see. But yeah, he definitely has like a little bit more of a wash kind of going on right there. And even into like his gloves and stuff, definitely a little more black paint applied into that compared to like say his torso, which has like hardly any, which is good, I think. And then, you know, coming around to this side again, very similar type of paint applying, you know, paint appliance to his the side of his arm. It's quite a bit darker, and even in the shoulders as well, this little red stripe. And yeah, and one thing, that's another thing I want to point out about this figure in particular. I don't know, looking at Alex Ross's artwork, I don't know if this is technically accurate, but I find it, you know, very interesting on this figure that he's only really got like a very small section on of the shoulder that's that actually has like the red and the web pattern going, and you'll see like the rest of the shoulder is like actually just blue, like even on the side here and like coming around. And then you get like, you know, one more small section of red kind of coming in the back as well. But usually I'm used to seeing, you know, Spidey's like full shoulder, like from the side view, I'm used to seeing that, you know, red with all the, you know, webbing pattern in it. So kind of interesting that this figure in particular has like more blue for the shoulders. That's a very interesting design. I don't know how accurate that is to Alex Ross's. I feel like every time I've seen Alex Ross's artwork, you know, he had like, you know, a full red shoulder like usual, but on this figure, you know, that's something that seems to be a little bit different. But yeah, just something I wanted to point out real quickly. But yeah, so I think that's, you know, a pretty good look as far as like the details on this guy. Bringing him a little closer just so you can see the mask again. Yeah, pretty nicely, pretty nice sculpt on it, you know. I like the wash. I like that the wash, or like the filling in of the webbing, isn't too heavy in the mask. So we get some nice focus on those eyes again. But you can definitely see the webs are sculpted and filled in with paint. So that's always nice. I like how that looks. I typically prefer sculpted web lines on Spidey figures, the way that Toybiz did it back in the day. But you know, on some Spidey figures, you know, the regular painted lines work, especially if it's like a cartoon style, like the Spectacular Spider-Man, or, you know, Ultimate, something like that. But for like a comic or like live action suit, I usually like to see sculpted lines for the webbing, or either sculpted or raised, you know, depending on the style and the source material that it's based on. But yeah, I think for like comic Spidey figures, I tend to like to see sculpted lines. Live action, probably, you know, raised. But that's just me. I know not everybody feels that way. But yeah, so I think that's a pretty good look at the details for this guy. So real quickly, we'll run through the gimmick that he comes with. I don't know how much you guys care about that, but you know, this is a review, so I gotta review everything that's here. There goes my scissors. So yeah, let's go ahead and get these additional pieces out real quick. I'll just take a very quick look at these. I'm not even gonna like try to use the gimmick or show it off in this video, but again, if you look at that little diagram that was on the back of the box, you know, at the beginning of the review, you can always just rewind the video and look at that diagram, and it tells you how to use it on the back there. So seems pretty simple too from the pictures. So if that's something you want to do, you can do that. But yeah, so we've got two of these, two kind of like long web pieces, and they're pretty thick. You know, this definitely doesn't seem like something that should be coming out of Spidey's wrist. It seems a bit too thick to just be coming out of a figure of his size. But you know, we've got this nice kind of silver webbing, very McFarlane style or Bagley, with all like the wrapping, the kind of like coiled lines and everything wrapping around, and it's got like a nice silver paint application with the black wash going through to show all those, you know, fibers of the web. Very, very cool. It's got like this little swing, this little red, you know, swinging thing right there. And at the top, you got a really nice kind of like Bagley style, I would say, like Ultimate Spider-Man logo, which is really cool. And this little peg that kind of sticks out at the back. So we got two of those. We got two of those little web line things, and then we have the actual contraption, I guess, if you will, that I think the web's attached to, and that you use to actually swing him. So let's see here. All right, there we go. Let's go ahead and bust this bad boy out. So yeah, we got like this thing, which is interesting, you know, kind of like a Y shape thing. It's got like all these little pieces. I guess these are like, yeah, projectiles or something. I guess there's like a button, and I guess maybe you launch off some of these missiles. Let's see if any of these fire. Oh no, I guess not. I'm pressing the button, doesn't seem to be doing anything right now. But yeah, again, I guess I would have to look at the instructions to figure out exactly how this works. But oh, okay, I see. There's like a little spring inside of here in the middle. You can see there's actually a spring in there. It's spring loaded, so I guess maybe you would take these out and put them into there. That's what I'm thinking, at least. And maybe fire those off. I don't know. And I guess somehow these two web things attached to somewhere on this, and you know, allow him to swing across or whatever it is. But again, I'm not too worried about the gimmicks. I mean, if you guys want to check that out, again, just look at the you know, rewind the video to the beginning when I was going over the box and just kind of, you know, check out that diagram. But I'm not going to spend too much time on it, because again, I don't care for the gimmicks too much. But it is always nice to have those little extra things on the side, for sure. But back to the figure itself. We are going to quickly run through play and display, which is articulation, of course. And yeah, we're going to see what this guy is capable of, and then we will get him next to a plethora of other figures and see how he stacks up. So just expect that this guy is going to be a little bit limited in articulation just because of the gimmick. I can tell you right now, in the arms, he's going to be a little bit, you know, limited compared to other figures. So just be aware of that, all right? But starting with the head, we can lift, let's see, head only go, okay, there we go. There we go. Just had to push it a little more. That was quick. All right, there we go. So the head actually looks up very, very high. You can see quite a big hinge going down the middle of the neck there. But yeah, allows the head to look up that far, which is quite a lot. Can really crank it back. And then he's able to look down. Let's see. Using that hinge very, very nicely. He can tuck his chin into his chest pretty much. So that's pretty cool. Definitely kind of gives him a little bit of a disjointed or like a broken neck look from the back, like his spine or something is sticking out, but not too bad. Not too bad. At least he gets that range. And let's see, is he able to swivel on it? Yep, he gets a 360 swivel in there. Any leaning side to side? Yeah, very slightly, just a little bit. Slight nuance posing in there, so that's cool. So very, very good. All right, here we go with these arms. So he's able to raise. These seem to be like ball and hinge shoulders. So he's able, with the gimmick, I think there's like a spring in here or something. So it kind of clicks when you get to a certain point. So put his arm back down. You can raise them like all the way up. And then as you kind of like push it to like past a certain point right here, it kind of clicks up like that. And so, you know, he's able to raise his arm like that. So pretty, almost sky high. He doesn't have, let's see, does he have a bicep swivel? Oh, okay, I take that back. He does have a bicep swivel, which is nice. So he does have that bicep swivel in there, which is really good. Allows for some good rotation at the bicep. But his elbows might be where he suffers a bit just because of the gimmick. The way they sculpted it, he doesn't have any elbow articulation. It's just, you know, his arm is fixed in this position with the way they sculpted it. You know, he's web whipping, so both of his hands are stuck in the whipping position. But again, not too bad. Comes down. Let's see. We do have a swivel at the forearm, though, so that's nice. We get a nice cut for the forearm swivel. A little bit gappy, at least on this. Actually, I guess both sides. A little bit gappy in there, but again, not too bad. And I'm sure that has to do with the gimmick. So, but yeah, we get a forearm swivel in there. The hands are kind of fixed to the forearm. They don't have any individual swivel or, you know, rotation, any hinges or anything. So they just swivel with the forearm. So you get that. Let's see, out to the side, we're able to get his arms like that. So yeah, again, obviously you're not going to be able to straighten them out completely just because they are fixed the way they are. But yeah, he has like a hinge in his shoulder. So it's like a ball hinge shoulder. You can get, let's see, full rotation in there, which is nice. Full 360 rotation from the side, so that looks good. Let's see, for the torso, he's got a cut for the top here. So I think this joint is really just meant to get him rotating, like twisting to the side, which looks a little ugly, I'm not gonna lie. You can see we've got quite a bit of a gap going in between like the pecs and his lower torso when you do that. So you can twist it back to this side. And yeah, he gets pretty gappy. I mean, look at that. Comes all the way, you know, back here. and like basically just slices up his whole anatomy. But you know, it is what it is. At least he gets that twist action, right? He's got that range. Not really meant to lean side to side at all. It's not really, I mean, it gets him like very slightly to each side, but not much. As far as bending forward, not so much. Yeah, very, very slight. Definitely doesn't feel like it was made for him to crunch too much. Yeah, it feels like there's like a spring in there or something. He might have like he might be spring loaded, so only kind of lets him go about that far forward, only about that far back, and it kind of just pops back into place. So definitely not made to really have him highly articulated in the torso. He's got a, let's see, he's got another lower waist cut that allows for some more twist action. So he's got some lower waist twisting as well, just above the kind of like the belt section, a little section right there that allows him to twist and turn. So we get that. Coming down to the legs. Yeah, so I guess these are actually kind of like the joints on the McFarlane. So it does, I think you don't necessarily have to have, yeah. So like the way the hinge is fixed right now, again, it's like out to the side. So you would think that, let's see, actually, let me put it back down. Yeah, you would think that the leg would only be able to swing this way, but no. Just like the McFarlane, you can kick it up. It's like straight forward, out like that. So he gets at least a good 90, let me fix that back. He gets a good 90-degree high kick like that. Cool 90 degrees going there. Going backwards, ooh, pretty limited, pretty limited. Again, yeah, it runs into the sculpt, so kind of similar to like Hasbro. Definitely wasn't made for him to go back too far. He's got thicker legs for sure than the McFarlane. You know, bigger butt. So yeah, so but yeah, you know, you can get at least like that far. I think if you keep pushing it, you know, it'll rotate, but it'll go out to the side, so you're not gonna get like a straight kickback, but you can kind of push it that way if you want to. Let's see. He does have a thigh swivel, so you can see like the separation between the thigh and the ball there, and that does allow for some individual rotation from the ball. Yeah, you kind of have to free it up. His joints were pretty stiff when I first got him out the package. That seems to be the case with a lot of these like older Toybiz figures. But I like that. I mean, I'd rather have tighter joints than tighter joints than looser joints, right? So yeah, you just got to play with it a little bit and it should loosen up. If it's really stiff, you might want to apply some heat just so you don't, you know, break it, risk breaking it. But yeah, he does have a individual thigh swivel in there, which works really nice. Double jointed knees, so at least he gets, you know, some better articulation in the legs, right? So you can bend his leg that far back, basically to his lower back. So that looks all right to me. Comes back down. Let's see, any boot swivel? I don't think so. It's hard to tell if it's just like locked right now or if it's really just not meant to twist there. I don't think it doesn't feel like it was meant to twist. So yeah, just to put that out there. He might have one. Maybe if I keep playing around with it, you know, I'll let you guys know in the description if I was able to find boot rotation later. But as of right now, it doesn't really feel like he has any. Let's try this side. Yeah, it feels about as stiff on this side as well. So yeah, I don't think it was made for any boot rotation. But we do have a hinge for the foot that allows him to bend his foot down that far, which is cool. I like that. Tippy toe action. He can kick up very, very far. And you can see it gets a little bit gappy. I mean, this is an older figure, so I definitely give it a pass. They definitely didn't have quite the technology and things today to make, you know, all the joints look so flush when you start articulating them. But yeah, and then he's got a nice ankle pivot or rocker in there, so that's good to each side. Get some swivel, and he also has a toe hinge. Let's see how much this allows his toe to articulate. I'm moving the whole foot. I'm trying to just move the toes. Okay, here we go. So yeah, it allows his toes to go up about that far, which is pretty decent. It's all right. And it even points, okay, this is one of those unique ones where the toes actually can go down too. Most of the toe joints that we see on these older Toybiz figures, they usually just allow the foot or the toes to go up and then come back to like a fixed, you know, flat position. But this one actually allows the toes to curl down too, so that's kind of cool. Definitely looks a little funny, but you know, there's only so much you can do with a, you know, foot on a figure. But yeah, you can see, like I was saying before, it is like a little bit gappy in between like the ankle and where the actual foot, like you can see like, I guess like the joint in there, because you can see the hinge, you can see where it connects inside into the actual foot there. Hopefully you guys are able to see that. But yeah, there's like, you know, there's definitely a little bit of gappage in there, but not too bad. Again, this is an older figure, but damn, just look at that back Spider logo, man. God, I love it. Oh, that logo is just so cool. And I definitely feel like Sam Raimi's first movie suit was based on this back logo. Like the big bright red spider logo, I feel like was definitely inspired from this Alex Ross, you know, symbol. Cause this is like probably the first time that we get like a realistic looking spider logo, like on the back of a comic Spidey. I feel like, you know, Alex Ross's, you know, painting hyper real style definitely kind of was the first to have like a more realistic looking spider on his back, something that you might see in like a live action. So I feel like Raimi's suit was definitely influenced by this logo for sure. But yeah, this style. So shout outs to Alex Ross, man. Really, really dope. I think he definitely contributed to a lot of the live action stuff that we saw in those early Raimi films. But yeah, I just love how this thing looks from the back, man. That spider logo is beautiful. And then all the sculpted details of the back and like the wrinkles within the spider and the blue, like all that cloth, and just really, really awesome. And then we've got, you know, the web pattern up top, nicely filled in. Nice black line separating the red and blue there. Nice web line there. And then we've got some more detail down here in the boots. Very, very nice. A little bit of a wash going on to kind of show some of those details and kind of give him a more, you know, grimy look. Like he's been out there battling, getting his hands dirty, beating on them villains. And then you've got this nice black wash here, which looks really good into the feet as well. So yeah, all that looks really good. Very nice paint application on this figure overall, man. Really awesome stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much it as far as, oh, we didn't do out to the side. Let me not forget that. Let me not forget. For some reason, out to the side is always one of those points I seem to forget. But out to the side, you guys will be pleased to know he gets a full-on perfect splits. Look at that. Nice Spidey splits for your ass. Look at that, man. He's kicking. He's straight kicking. You can have two bad guys coming at him from each side, and he can jump up and straight up kick him in the face with this range right here. That is awesome, man. Straight up perfect splits. You get your nice perfect line. Very gymnastic, Spidey acrobatic action there. So that is dope, man. I love it. Perfect splits action. So yeah, that seems to be it as far as articulation goes. I don't think I missed any points. So yeah, not too bad, you know, for an older figure, especially one with a gimmick. Not too bad. And again, I didn't do a clean figurine scale on this guy just because he's an older Toybiz figure. Wouldn't really be fair to rate him the way, you know, I can rate these newer figures. So technology is definitely different now, and there's a lot more to be expected from these newer figures, especially with the prices that they charge. So yeah, and I don't know retail. I don't even know exactly how much this guy went for. I didn't do a lot of research on it, but it's pretty hard. I did try to actually research the I think like the McFarlane and that Green Goblin that we just looked at, and then it's pretty hard to find the retail price on these older Toybiz figures, man. Like I really was on Google searching, and I just couldn't find. There's like Reddit pages where people are like trying to find out, and nobody seems to have like a definite answer. It's like nobody, either remembers that was like around at that time when they first came out or what. But it seems the consensus seems to be like, I think most people remember them or think that they were like around 10 to 15 bucks back in the day. So, you know, depending on the figure, it might have been like a little more, like if it came with, I guess, more or whatever, if it was a 2-pack, obviously, but you know, or like one of those, you know, deluxe big packs where you got like a lot of figures, like that Sinister 6-pack. But yeah, but I don't know the exact retail price on this guy, so I definitely can't judge him off of, you know, his price, which is a big factor in the clean figurine scale. So yeah, he's gonna get a pass from all that, but I will just say that he is a solid figure, man. Definitely one I would recommend picking up if you're a fan of the Alex Ross art style, because he looks amazing, man. Toybiz is just so intricate and focused with the details on these figures, and I love it, man. This is a Spidey figure that you're just not going to see today. I mean, you might, maybe one of the high-end companies one day might redo this guy and actually give him, like, you know, high-level modern-day articulation. That would be beautiful, man. I'd love to see a remake of this guy, but as for right now, I'm very happy with this one that I've got right here. Even if he isn't the most articulated figure out there, the details are beautiful, the sculpt is fantastic, and just the fact that it pays homage to a very specific, you know, art style, I love it, you know, all the more. So, but yeah, there you go. So enough of me talking, man. Let's get straight into these size comparisons, because we have a lot to see this guy, you know, next to. I really wanted to get all of like the main Spidey figures that I've reviewed and that we've looked at. I wanted to get pretty much all of those guys next to him to see how he stacks up, as well as also, you know, other lines, of course, that we've reviewed. So, you know, some bigger and smaller characters as well. Wow, I think I forgot to bring, I forgot to bring one of the SH Figuarts figures in here. Oh, well. I mean, at this point, I think you guys can probably, like, you know, determine just about how well he would stack up with the SH Figuarts. You know, that being a smaller scale, obviously they should be a little bit smaller than this guy. If I can get him to freaking stand. It's a little bit tricky with these feet. Okay, there we go. He's kind of bending. He's not really bending his knees too much. I just kind of have like one foot slightly in front of the other to help him balance a little bit more. So hopefully that doesn't, you know, mess with his size or anything, you know, or like, you know, his height as we do these comparisons. But, you know, seems to be the only way I can get him to really stand right now. But yeah, so there is our Alex Ross dual web swinging Spider-Man. Let's get him up with some other characters. Make sure the light is real good on him. Okay. All right, so yeah, he is a little bit, again, he has like a lot of dark paint on him, so, you know, hopefully it's, in the camera he seems like he's, you know, pretty dark right now, but hopefully you guys can see him well enough. I got the natural lighting coming in right now, but first up, let's get him next to his big bad, his opposing, one of his worst adversaries, the Green Goblin, also in the Alex Ross art style. So we can finally see the two of them together. By the way, this is how he looks on the glider. I don't think I showed it off in the review of him, but this is how he looks on his glider. He doesn't have any peg holes on the bottom of his feet. I forgot to mention that. I'll put that in the description. But so I was kind of like worried that I was like, how is he gonna like hang on to his glider? But you know, again, his shoes are very pointy. So like once you kind of slip them under these little like latches or whatever that are on the glider, he actually hangs onto it very well. So it's really not a problem. I was like, because I was wondering, I was like, actually, I think, yeah, he should have peg holes, right? Because the stand had pegs on it, so he should have some, yeah, he does have peg holes at the bottom of his feet. I take that back. They're actually like kind of in the back. But yeah, he can ride the glider pretty well. But anyways, I'm gonna slide him out the glider real quick just so we can get a more accurate height comparison here. So let me straighten him up. Oops, there goes his pumpkin bomb. I'll pick that up in a bit. But yeah, let's see if we can get him standing straight here. This guy had pretty big feet, so he was pretty easy to stand. So here is that Alex Ross Green Goblin with his immortal enemy, the Amazing Spider-Man. All right, so now we've got to look at these two, same style, same artist. So again, I really love that Toybiz kind of focused on giving us, figures that were based on specific artists. So yeah, here's a look at the two of them. Yeah, I think they look really freaking good together, man. Norman, or Mr. Green Goblin over here, is definitely like a little bit taller than Spider-Man, definitely more muscular, just a little bit bigger as far as like stature and things. But yeah, I like how these two stack up. I think they look really good. Both Alex Ross, so very, very awesome. And on his other side, we'll get the live action Green Goblin from the first Spider-Man movie from 2002. And there you go. And he stacks up pretty well. He's actually a little bit taller, I would say, top of the helmet, than this Alex Ross Spider-Man. All right, so there's your two Green Goblins. There's a look at the both of them. And I'm going to move pretty quickly, guys, because, we got a lot to look at. So if you want to see, if you didn't get like a good sense of the height comparison between some of these, you can always, pause the video if you want to see it a little bit longer. But here is the Batch 1 McFarlane next to him. And on the other side, we have Batch 2 McFarlane. All right. And let's see, let me face him a little more towards the camera here. Okay, there we go. All right, so there you go. Each of them definitely a little bit taller than this Alex Ross Spider-Man. I think that's appropriate. But yeah, they both look pretty good next to him. I like this a whole bunch. Definitely two different styles, Alex Ross, Todd McFarlane, so there you go. But yeah, I like how they look. Very different styles of Spider-Man, but both very awesome and to my liking. So here we have Black Cat from the Marvel Legends retro card, line from Hasbro. So there is Black Cat on this side. On his other side, we will get MJ from No Way Home. And I had her kind of posed up, so excuse the awkward pose while she's holding the, I forgot what that box is called. It's like something with a V is in the name. Something of Vandalier, or I don't know, something like that. But she's holding that magic box from the movie. So there you go. There's a look at the two of them. And yeah, I think they stack up pretty well. Black Cat's like almost the same height, maybe just a hair shorter. Zendaya, yeah, about the same thing. They're pretty similar in height, her and Black Cat. So yeah, there you go. Moving them aside. Next up, we have the Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man from Hasbro. Another really, really awesome figure. Nice classic style. And I feel like this is like Steve Ditko style, right? Like Spider-Man's first appearance. I feel like these styles are very similar. I think Alex Ross definitely took a lot of, Steve Ditko's, first looks at Spider-Man, like how he depicted Spider-Man, and took a lot of that and just kind of tweaked it, made it a little more edgy, I would say, and more of a kind of like live action look. But yeah, so yeah, these styles I would say are very similar in appearance or nature. And then you have the Spectacular Spider-Man on his other side from Hasbro. 2008 Spectacular Spider-Man. And yeah, Spectacular Spidey I would say is actually like a little bit taller than this dual web swinging one, around the same height as the Amazing Fantasy. So there you have that. There's the three of them. Moving them out the way, we have, who we got next? We'll get them with the Amazing Spider-Man from the Amazing Spider-Man 2 DX set from Mafex. Alright, so Andrew Garfield Spidey. And then we have, on his other side, we've got a villain. We've got Mr. Shocker from the retro card release. Alright, so there you go. I think the two of them look pretty good next to the Spider-Man. Shocker is definitely a little bit bigger, and same thing with this Amazing Spider-Man. But yeah, so there you go. Moving them aside, we have the great Stan Lee, who is on a stand because I can never get him to stand up on his own. So we have a Mafex stand, so we're cheating a little bit with the height here, but you know, again, it is what it is. It's the only way I can really get him to stand, the way Hasbro designed his freaking feet. But there is Stan Lee, and then we have the black suit Spider-Man from the Red Hulk Build-A-Figure wave. All right, turn him a little bit. So there you go. Yeah, black suit Spider-Man, definitely just a little bit bigger. And Stan Lee, if I was to take Stan Lee off the stand, I would say he's just about the same height as this Alex Ross. Yeah, maybe, or maybe like, I feel like he might be just like slightly shorter if I took him off the stand. The stand definitely gives him about like, at least like maybe half an inch, quarter inch of height extra. So you got that, but moving them aside, next up we got the wall climbing, or not climbing, wall crawling web Spider-Man from Hasbro. I believe this was like a 2008 figure. And then we've got the Spider-Man Mark Armor 1 from Hasbro, part of the retro card line. And yeah, that's how they stack up. I think that looks pretty good. Moving right along, we've got, for NECA, we have our Assassin's Creed, Ezio Auditore. Face him towards the camera a little bit better. And for McFarlane, we have the DC Multiverse Black Adam, The Rock. I gotta hold him up because he never stands, but yeah, quite a bit, like probably like at least a good 2 inches taller than this this new Spidey. And then we have Ezio, who's also quite a bit bigger. Not quite as big as the Rock though, the Black Adam, but definitely bigger than Spidey. All right, we are gonna wrap this up because we are 1 hour and 6, but here we go. Some last ones to look at. We've got Mafex Miles Morales from Into the Spider-Verse. And who else? Real quick, I'm just going to show him with the retro card Peter Parker, all right, from Hasbro. And Peter's actually quite a bit bigger, quite a bit taller. I was thinking maybe they would stack up, you know, nice together, because I feel like this would be a nice, you know, retro style that could fit with this Alex Ross Spider-Man, but he's actually quite a bit taller, so that might not work so well, but there is that. And then last but not least, here he is with Carnage from the Venom Wave. We've got the Venom Wave Cletus Cassidy Carnage here. And let's see. Spider-Man 2099 on this side. So we got Spidey 2099 real quick right there. Okay, moving them. And then to top it off, or finish it off, we have, we have a McFarlane Toys Raven from Teen Titans. And yeah, you can see she's quite a bit bigger. So there you go. 1 hour and 8 minutes, man. A long review. But yeah, I told you we had like a plethora of characters to look at. So yeah, y'all know I wasn't joking now. So, but man, if you made it to the end of the video, or if you at least watched the majority of it, man, do me a favor down below and comment, keep the action going, because that's what we do on this channel, all right? This has been your boy BioSpider 3.0, keeping the action going with the dual web swinging Spider-Man from Toybiz, aka the Alex Ross style, all right? So thank you guys so much for watching this review. Hope you all have a blessed and great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video, all right? Peace. Stay safe.